Alrighty then. Hey guys, Roger Silvera here out of Tampa, Florida. Welcome to tonight's live Dream Team Domination Show. We are truly excited that you're here. I'm filling in for my man Bruce Brian Felton, and I'm the VP of Finance for our Dream Team group. And I want to again thank you for coming out tonight. As always, we do this on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tonight's show is going to be very, very special, as every show is special, but this one in particular is going to be very, very powerful because we've got a gentleman that has not only hit the leaderboards in our company, but has truly made a tremendous transformation. And obviously, as we know, that transformation starts from within, and it took a mental shift to turn into a physical shift. And he's going to explain tonight what it really truly means to be on the forefront of change. You see, many of us are adverse to change and things of that nature. And a lot of this tonight is going to be, technical and things of that nature. You're going to see, his success and how he's created the type of success that he's had. But there has to be some sort of bridge that's between the mental and the actual manifestation of the result. And so he's going to share with you tonight just sort of how mentally he's transformed, and then kind of get into the technical aspect of what he's doing, since tonight is really all about the how-tos, taking some strategies and techniques that he'll show tonight and how you can now start to apply those to your business and achieve the results that you desire. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you, get on your virtual feet, and let's welcome my man Raymond the Juggernaut Jornd to the show. Raymond, are you there?
Roger, I'm excited to be here with you, man. It's always a pleasure, especially when I can just get a chance to be home and hear the pitter-patter of little wings. And you may hear the excitement of my year-old because of this monumental occasion that, I am actually, like you said, around this community for a couple of years, and it wasn't until I actually got out of it and made the mental shift that allowed the physical transformation to happen that translates into the business transformation.
Hey, before you continue, bro, make sure that your connection's good, because I don't want anybody to miss any of the information that you're going to be sharing tonight. So just make sure your connection's good.
Oh yeah. If I'm coming across clear to you, then I know I'm good.
It's coming a little in and out. Just and I'll make sure that if I go like this, it's coming in and out. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Sweet. Come on. Yeah, stand like that. Okay. It might be the external noise kind of putting the I don't know. We'll fit a study for that out.
Okay.
All right.
Show us your bro.
All right. Well, okay, Serena. Anyway. The life of a home business.
The life of a home business, all right.
I know, right? All right, girls. If girls are going to be quiet, you guys can come over here and Daddy's left. Enjoy the show.
All right, man.
But no, okay. So it all started when 19 years ago, I got invited. I delivered pizza to someone that was visiting in California and was part of an organization that gave the letter. Another thing is my picture is if you can mute out.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So how does that come? Am I coming across now? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So yeah. I delivered a pizza to a gentleman that was part of a large network marketing company that is still going strong to this day. That started way back in the 50s. But that begins with the letter A, rhymes with Ramway, and he started. I went back and met with him after I got done working, And he started drawing the circles on a piece of paper, and before I know it, my eyes are going in circles, going with dollar signs in the middle. And I spent the next 19 years chasing the dream, yet living the nightmare that that a lot of people in the direct sales space end up finding themselves in, because they don't know how to market. They don't know about they have the duplication dream, yet they're living the attrition nightmare, and that was really what I was experiencing, and so fast forward a few companies later, and about 2 years ago, I come across the Dream Team and also Empower Network. Now, what I learned in that time has been tremendous. I mean, I've learned how to position myself as a leader, and now I'm seeing the fruits of that. I've learned mindset training that that has enabled me to really appreciate not only my success but also other people's success, because that is a success principle first and foremost. If you can't celebrate the success of others, how are you going to be able to have your own success? Now, success means different things for different people, and if success for you is being able to get a good report, a good review at your job, then hey, more power to you. I'm happy for you if you're happy, but at the end of the day, you're not really free, at least not in my mind. Because that's what I really wanted. I wanted I've heard about the time freedom. I've heard about the financial freedom. And it's not so much the money that I'm after. It's what the money will do for me. Because I have big dreams. I want to be able to do a lot of things for a lot of different people. One of my visions is to go into some of the poorest countries of the world, some of the poorest areas of the world, and teach the skills of network marketing and also internet marketing, so that people can go ahead and provide an income for their village. But more importantly, in order for me to do that, I know I need to go ahead and bring computers and internet connections into those areas, because let's face it, they don't have that infrastructure. So I want to be able to provide that. Now that's going to take some money to do that. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm making the transformations. Now, and that's another thing too. You mentioned the physical transformation. For the vast majority of my life, at least the last 25 years, I've been I've been a man of size, to put it correctly. Here, I mean, this is. I mean, I'm a big man, but I have a big personality. See, I've got a little ham here too. But. As a matter of fact, I've got two of them, but one of them's in the shadows right now. Serena, hey, come on, quiet. Try to keep quiet. Quieter, at least. But anywho, but yeah, it is a mental thing. It doesn't matter if you're in business or if you're getting through college, or if you're going for a promotion, or if you're trying to, or if you're taking care of your health. Everything depends on how you think. Your mental process determines your physical outcome. So that was a big shift that I had as early as far back as recent as this past April, when we were in Nashville for Unleash.
All right, let me just unmute there. Yeah, absolutely, man. I've definitely seen that. I mean, even from 1 year ago, almost a year ago, when we were in Orlando, and I seen just where you are now. Your belief is there, your posture's there, and it's a continuous development, man, and that's what it's all about, man. I mean, now that you're starting to get tangible results in your business. Let's kind of show the folks, really what you've been doing behind the scenes to generate the type of results that you've been doing. But how you also continuously are feeding your mind, from that perspective as well. So how you kind of tying, the tactical aspects to the business, but also, the mindset aspects of the business, how you tie that all in together so that you can start to be not only a competent business owner, but a professional in this industry. So let's share with the people, how that's come about, at least at this point.
All right. So, let's see here. Okay, good. So the mental aspects, you nailed it right there. It's all about belief, because you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in yourself first and foremost. And while I always thought I believed in myself, I was actually in the process of trying to do things. I was actually getting in my own way. And what do I mean by getting in my own way? It's thinking that I could do something halfway, thinking it was all the way, that I was actually doing everything that I could be doing within my business. It wasn't until I really got my hands on an audiobook, the 10X Factor by Grant Cardone, that I began to see that, I was basically half-stepping in my business. As far as the technical aspect, I just dove into the products that we have inside Empower Network. I'm also a Founders Club member, which means I have some of the legacy products. The 15K formula is one that from time to time Empower Network decides to dust those products off and make them available. So if you're not in now, now's the time to go ahead and get started, because you never know when they're going to dust those products off. Now in the 15K formula, there is training on what's called solo ads. And that training alone right there led me to create a result that allowed me to debut at number 8 on the Leads leaderboard for yesterday, for one day. Now, the thing about solo ads is that they're not hard to do, but it does take some financial resources, which is not something that everyone has right away. It's just that you have to first, in order to make it really effective, you first create a result and then leverage the shiznit out of it, which is exactly what I've been doing. Because not only did that solo ad run put me on the leaderboards for for the first day, because I knew I'd bought enough traffic to get myself on the leaderboard. It was just a matter of where I was going to debut. I debuted number 8. The next day, I had I finished out the run, the paid advertising run, to where I shot up to number 5. But that's not all. The total leads generated from that run, from a 300-click run, was enough to also get me on the number 10 slot for the 7-day. For the 7-day leaderboards. Now, and so what does it take to convert that into sales? Well, you have to, first of all, email your list. You have to be consistent. And I got my little ham here again. Hi. Yeah, hi. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe she'll follow in her dad's footsteps one day, and be an entrepreneur. But you have to be consistent with everything. My good friend and mentor Tracy Walker says, "How you do one thing is how you do everything." And where did she get that from? Well, you know what? Surprisingly enough, to me, not surprisingly enough, T. Harv Eker in Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That was the first place that was the main author that I've seen so far that created that, that stated that. And a lot of the principles that we teach here in the Dream Team, as far as with our finances, Roger, come from Secrets of the Millionaire Mind and the Millionaire Mind Intensive, which I've been part of as well. So yeah, it's just about being consistent and going for it. Sometimes you'll have that little the idea in your head. Well, well, I don't know if that's going to work, so I'm not going to try it. Do it anyway. You're just getting in your own way by not trying something and sticking with it.
Let me ask you. I know you mentioned solo ads, and I know solo ads is a topic that a lot of people aren't familiar with. If you could walk somebody through, your process in finding solo ad providers, and what your mindset is when you buy a solo ad package. Some of the things that you're measuring to determine whether a campaign is successful or not. So walk people through that mindset, because obviously the end result is the leads that you're getting. And we'll talk about monetization here in a minute, but let's talk about really, finding solo ad providers. Obviously you're using solo ads and paid traffic as a source for leads. And I think people can really learn this concept or start to research this concept, because there's obviously a myriad of ways to market your business. Whether if you're brand new, some of the things that you may do is obviously free marketing. But as you mature and as you start to generate revenue, you want to definitely start looking at taking a percentage of your revenue and putting it back into your business. And how do we do that? Obviously, solo ads is one area. So walk people through the progression from finding a solo ad provider to some of the metrics that you measure to determine whether a campaign is successful or not.
Sure, Roger. Sure. Now, as far as finding a provider goes, one of the things that the training that I saw talked about was going with a provider that has actually been on the leaderboards before. That's one thing that I looked for, and that's one thing that I definitely found with my traffic guy. He's had great results, and obviously has some great traffic connections that that enabled me to get access to a very responsive email list. Now, you mentioned that not everyone understands or may understand what a solo ad is, so let's cover that for a moment. A solo ad is basically when you rent out somebody else's email list for a certain, they may have they may give you like a package for a certain price, so many clicks that they're trying to deliver on your offer for a certain amount. And that amount can range anywhere from a couple dollars on down to, I've seen it as low as 30 cents. But you also have to take into consideration a number of other factors. What is the type? What type of funnel are you running that traffic through? What is the core demographic that funnel is targeting? If you're targeting make money online people, and the funnel is talking about weight loss, then you're not going to have a whole lot of response on that. You might have some clicks, but depending upon, you might get some leads, depending upon if that person is actually in the market for both, making money online and also reducing their size. But you also have to look at the how, that's another thing. How responsive is the list? You won't know that unless you ask. You want to go ahead and also get see if what other people have had results with. Search out testimonials for that provider. I've known my traffic guy for a while, since at least for the past year, and I've seen his own growth and progression too. So I trusted him completely when he came to me and said, hey, listen, I've got some traffic for you if you want it. So I tested it out, and that's another thing. If you're going with if you've got a new traffic source, do a small scale test with them first, to see how it performs. No sense in going full out, and plunking down your life savings on a traffic source that is not going to produce the results that you want. I mean, if you're plucking down a couple $1,000s and that's all you have in your bank account for marketing, and you only generate maybe 100 leads, that's definitely not a good run. Now, as far as what got me on the leaderboards, 33 leads in one day. That's all it took. That's all it took was 33 leads in a day, and that continued on to, I believe the next day I got like 25, and the next day 27, and boom, just you send it out. I screenshot it, put it out on social media, and here I am.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mean, and here's the thing. It does take consistency with solo ads. Absolutely. You're right on that. One should start to determine an ad budget accordingly. And I'd probably do paid traffic for myself, probably twice a month. And I'm probably plucking down anywhere from 500 to 1,000 a month, just using paid traffic. I know it's important, and I know it's a very viable source of leads. And so, and then you're right about testing small. Absolutely. One of the things that people do is that they make the mistake of buying a big click package when they're unsure of the types of results that they can get. Start very small. And if you're looking, and I would start no less than 250 clicks. In fact, I would try to see if I can get to 500 clicks. Getting to that range, because you need to have data in order to support what you're looking at. And so when you buy traffic, of course, now you buy traffic. Now you probably are sending them to a capture page. Now, are you designing these capture pages? And if so, what are you doing to test those capture pages? Walk people through, and maybe some for the new people, the aspect of designing a capture page that actually can convert and turn that traffic into leads. So let's talk about that for a minute.
Sure. Well, my whole goal for this traffic run was to, create the result that I wanted, which was my leaderboard debut. So, and this is not to say that that people should not create their own capture page, but that's the beauty about Empower Network, is that we have capture pages ready to go that are good for the brand new person that has never created a capture page before. And the nice thing about it is that you can they provide walkthroughs in the back office of how to connect your capture page that they provide to either Aweber or GetResponse, whichever one you choose to go with. But my whole goal was to get on the leaderboard. So I knew that in order for me to really accomplish that, at least for the leads leaderboard, I had to run my traffic through an Empower Network capture page. And so that's exactly what I did. I used the perfect storm funnel that we have. And now that we have some other funnels that I'm eager to test, the secrets of the $1 Million Ring video I've seen is probably one of the better videos that I've ever seen Empower Network put out in the last 2 years. I can't wait to run some traffic through that and see how it converts. But eventually, though, yes, you're going all of the veteran marketers that I know of, Tracy Walker included, create their own custom capture pages. And they run a small amount of traffic. They tweak, they test, they create different versions of the same capture page to see which one works better, and then it's called a split test. If you've had one version over here, and then you've got a different version over here that is slightly different, you run traffic through both, and if this one over here is doing better, well then you nix this one and just go with this.
Yeah, great stuff, man. And you're right. We do have custom capture pages that people can tap into, and especially for the person that is just trying to get a feel for how capture pages work. I think we have some of the best, tools in the industry for that matter. And what I would invite people to do is really study the language that are in these capture pages. That study the headlines. How are the headlines constructed? And obviously, I don't know. I'm sure you would say the same thing. But eventually, we want to encourage people to start looking at designing their own so they can start to brand and stand out. But you're right, man. Definitely, I think we should take advantage of the resources that we have inside of our back office because, and that's the beauty about it. If you guys are online right now and you maybe are struggling to get leads for your business, you can turn no further into what Raymond has done, is utilize tools and resources that are already provided for you. That's the beauty about tapping into our community. So guys, just before we begin further, there's a banner, I think it's to that way right there, and where you can start to look at our platform, make a decision tonight to partner up with us in our organization. For those of you that were invited here, get back with the person that got you to this particular webcast and let people know, or let them know that you are highly interested in what we're doing, and want to make sure that you get hooked up with the person so that you can start to get results in your business. So that's definitely awesome stuff, man. And now from the leads, so we got traffic to leads, now leads to ultimately being on the list. And let's talk about monetization. How are you monetizing these particular leads? And kind of share with people your experience this far in doing that. What kind of methods have you been using to monetize the leads that you've been getting?
Well, it's an excellent question, Roger. Now, one of the things that that one of my mentors, Paul Gardner, has taught me is that you create a result, and then you leverage it. And so the first thing I did when in my monetization process is I did a screen capture of me being on the leaderboards. I did a custom follow-up series because while the traffic was running, I think I got like the first email done just like 5 clicks into 5 leads into the whole run, and I set it up to where it was a drip email series where I still had some time after the first day to create the rest of them. But in one of those email series, people want to know that you are producing a result. They want to know that they want to be able to see you as the leader. Everyone wants to know that there is that you're the Pied Piper that can get them to whatever their dream is. Essentially, people want to be able to look up to you. So, that's where I was. That's what my whole goal for my positioning in monetizing my list. And so that's exactly what I did. I captured, put up the results in an email and part of the follow-up series. Peanut, you silly. And then I got my little hand here wants to be part of the show, but so where was I? Okay, and then I just started leveraging it, and that's another thing. When you're running paid traffic, most of the time it's cold traffic, which means the people don't know you at all. So email them consistently every day. Send them any content that you create, whether it be video, a blog post, preferably a video in your blog post, and then send them send that blog post to your list. That will help people warm up to you, get to know you, because at the end of the day, people will only buy from people or brands that they like, know, and trust. Because they want to be able to know that that this is for real, that they can do this, that you are able to tell them step by step how to produce the same results that you've got in your business.
Excellent point, man. Excellent point. So from what I gathered, pretty much you're sharing your results. You're sharing good content. and you're allowing people to develop rapport, or you're building rapport with people, you know. And let me ask you something: is there a difference between building a relationship or building rapport? You know, obviously, are you looking to be their best friend, or are you looking to gain traction with them so that they know, like, and trust you? You know, kind of share, you know, I guess the difference there, because I'm sure there's a difference. Is that correct?
There is a huge difference between building a relationship and building rapport. A lot of people think that you have to build a relationship in order to get someone to buy from you. No, you have to build. All you have to do is build rapport. And all rapport is getting someone to respond. Responsiveness is what you want in order for someone to make a buying decision. So, you want rapport first, and then you can build the relationship as you go along. You know, I've got someone on my team that is just getting started, and we just clicked. You know, rapport can happen in an instant. You know, and I know she's going to do great things, and I can't wait to see what her on this hangout, on this presentation, celebrating her success. And I know for a fact that I'm going to be like, when Raquel's up here, being interviewed by either you or Bruce or whomever on the Dream Team. And so, yeah, pure and simple. It can happen in an instant. It doesn't have to take a long time to get someone to lead someone to a buying decision.
Great point, man. Great point. And I think people need to hear that. Is that people are like, man, you know what? How do I get people to buy? I'm sure you hear that all the time too. How do I get people to buy? How do I get people to buy? Well, you build rapport. You build a connection with them. Because people must like you, and they can trust you, and they can do business with you. That's really the moniker in business in general. Talk about, even in solo ads, obviously, the copy, and then we're talking about communication at this point. Even solo ads, obviously you can buy clicks and things of that nature. You can send out, your link to an email list. But there's also ways that, you can write your own copy, right? Talk about communication itself, even just from monetizing the leads. Talk about the importance of communication, because that stemmed from mindset. So we started with mindset in the beginning. Now let's talk about communication. How does communication, or how does increasing your levels of communication, right? How does that play a big role in being able to turn these leads ultimately into sales, and then not only from sales into ultimately you start producing team members like Raquel, where she's excited, she's pumped up, she's really moving forward, she's getting a result in her business. And talk about communication from the aspect of, I guess, while you're personally generating a result, and then also let's transition that into how you're communicating with a team member to teach that result that you got, so that now she can manifest a similar result, whatever the case may be. Hopefully that makes sense. But I just want to kind of go from the communication aspect, from you personally, how communication has helped you generate the results that you've had, but then also how you're helping your team members in terms of communicating that same message to them, how communication, or why communication is so important between you and a team member, if that makes sense.
Communication is as important as air in a breathing person. Without it, you can't produce results. You can't be able to to lead someone to a buying decision. So and you can't help someone to create results in their own business or their own life without it. It's basically how we live and breathe. I mean, we as a species, we have not advanced yet to the level of being able to just think about someone and look at them, and they get a picture of whatever you're thinking about in their minds. We haven't gotten to that level yet, but I think with enough personal development, we just might. can you bend a spoon with your mind? Like Abram Gonzalez and Nikki Magdalena can. That's where it gets kind of freaky. But we won't go there. But more power to them, because they're killing it. They're crushing it in their business. It's without communication, you don't get people to like, know, and trust you either. So it's paramount in anyone's success.
So obviously, you've utilized solo ads. Any other traffic sources that you're using now? What other methods of marketing are you using to continue, the results that you're gaining?
Right now, it's just been solo ads that's got me on the leaderboard. However, I do have a few other strategies that I have yet to really implement fully. As far as paid traffic, I know of a couple of people that are utilizing Facebook fan pages to a great extent and having tremendous success with it. I mean, there's strategies all over out there. It's just a matter of finding the one that you want to focus on, the one that you believe in the most, and yeah. You tell them you're Serena, right? But focus on 1-2 different strategies at the most. My advice would be to find a free strategy that can produce leads for you, and then parlay that, like we said, a portion of the efforts, the profits, into a paid traffic strategy, be it solo ads or Facebook PPC.
It's great stuff, man. It's great stuff. And I think the biggest thing is that what you're sharing is for people to keep it simple. Especially for a newbie that, when they first get into this industry, they see this as a potpourri of different things. And I was like that when I first started back in 2010, way prior to Empower Network, which just happens to be obviously the company that we're a part of. I was lost. I was just completely lost because it was just so much information. And the fact that now, the message is consistently clear. Pick one particular free strategy that you can master. I happen to be great on video, and I use LinkedIn as well, because I'm dealing with a lot of professionals. And then I use my blog effectively. I can use my blog to build traffic, or I can use it to gain engagement. But the biggest thing is that, and I'm hearing this from your end too, is that as you learn a strategy, as you continue to master strategy, you add on top of it, and you add another one, and you add another one. You add tools to your toolbox, and you consistently master, your craft. And it's without a shadow of a doubt, man. We've seen a tremendous, an uptick, not just in your results, but just in your energy, nonetheless. Because, with results, you start to really, have just a different walk about you, different swag about you. And it's great to see that happening, especially then, as you mentioned, Raquel, even now for team members that are existing in your organization that, are looking to you for guidance and counsel. And so, what would be your advice to somebody brand new, just, they're fresh out the box tonight? Let's say they enroll tonight. What would be the first thing that they should do in order to move their business forward? Or let's say the top 3 things that they should be focused on in the next 90 days that, would produce the results that they're looking to manifest. If you were sitting down with a brand new person, okay, what would you share with them be the 3 things that they need to focus on in the next 90 days to achieve the results that they want?
Well, the next 90 days I would focus on, first and foremost, we are not just an educational platform, educational community, but we are a blogging platform. So definitely, focus on the blog. Get used to blogging for at least the first 28 days. That's why we have the 21-day blogging challenge. I would coach them on SEO strategies as well, because that's a method of free traffic right there. Being able to to drive traffic to your blog strictly from search engines. That is like the highest form of targeted advertising that you can ever develop. that you could ever generate. So that would be number one. Number two, you know, find out what is it that you're strong in. You know, you mentioned that you're strong in video. You know, operate within those strengths. Because if you try and operate outside of your lane in something that you're weak in, you're actually going to prolong your success and produce weak results. So, you know, if you're strong in the written form, then definitely blogging. You know, pump out that content. If you're strong in video, which I would encourage everyone to at least develop their video muscle eventually, then do that, because that is the fastest way of getting people to connect with you. If they can see you on video, if they can hear your voice, they know you're real. And that's another key. That's one of the keys. They know you're real. Then they can start to like, know, and trust you. Because I've had people. I've run traffic when I first got started. I've had people think that I was some sort of robot, internet bot, pumping out an email. Go figure, right? But and then create a result and leverage it, because once you do that, then your belief levels shoot sky high, and that's what you've seen with me. Since I got on the leaderboard, I was like, heck yeah, I'm on the leaderboard now, baby. The success train is pulling out the station. Get on now while you still can, and that has been, it's like. I knew it would happen. I knew it would feel good, but I didn't realize how good it would feel. I didn't realize that it would feel this good. And it does, like you said, it does kind of pump up the swagger a little bit. Kind of get the Stevie Wonder move going. But and number three, definitely get your well, number one should be get your mindset. Number one, get your mindset. Number two, the SEO. Focus on the blogging. And number three is get your financial house in order, because when you need to be, and the number three definitely goes with number one, because if your financial house is a mess, that's also probably an indication that your mindset is a mess too. If your financial house is a mess, then you're not going to be able to keep the fruits of your success, going down the road. So definitely invest in some paid strategies as well, but operate within the lane that you're in.
Now let me ask you this: if somebody had $1,000 to put toward their business, but it came down to learning, and they were brand new. They were deciding whether to buy traffic or they would buy education. What would you suggest that they do?
I would say buy the education first, because you can buy traffic anywhere at any time, but if you don't have the knowledge that comes from the education to knowing what to do with that traffic, or even how to convert it and how to even warm it up, then that's that $1,000 or that money that you spend on traffic will actually have been wasted. Not necessarily wasted, because it will produce a result, but you won't know what to do with it.
It sounds so common. Sounds like so common sense that we would think, of course we would put it into education, but how people are. You talk about mindset, and I think there has to be, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, what I've always learned is that you have to have an inherent relationship, not only with money, but also looking at, vision. What is your vision for your business? What's your intention? And, buying traffic can be a singular event, but buying education can be a perpetual cycle, meaning that it can produce exponential growth and results, because if you really apply the information with what's being taught, especially in our products, which are some of the highest level digital marketing products that exist in the marketplace. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, just a little bit about Empower Network. We're an e-learning and digital marketing company. Powered by the most powerful product that we have is our viral blogging system. But Raymond's able to get results because he's tapped into the education. He's tapped into what he's been doing for so long that eventually it's going to create a result. And the thing is, what most people do is they quit. They quit on, they may say, well, I've been blogging for 3 months and I'm not, I haven't seen any leads yet. Well, then they get discouraged. And the thing is, I think it speaks to, your perseverance, but also it speaks to your vision about what you want, right? Explain to our viewership tonight, what the word clarity means in business. Because obviously we could talk a lot about technical aspects, and we talked about a little bit about that tonight. But let's talk about clarity. Clarity, not only just now for what you're doing, but clarity moving forward. Talk about the importance of clarity, especially as a brand new home business owner. What would you say to that?
Clarity is absolutely the one thing that everyone should have. Not even if they're not even a business owner, they have to know where they're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, you'll get lost really fast. And that's where I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people as being lost in their lives. I see people as being lost in their vision, lost in their businesses. Helen Keller said that the greatest tragedy in the world is a person with sight but no vision. And that's one thing that that I had to develop early on in my business. So for the new person just getting started, I would ask them, where do you want to be in the next 90 days? And if they come back with, I don't know, well then, I say, well, that's something you need to figure out, because without it, you're not going to get anywhere. And now, when my moment of clarity was realizing that the leads leaderboard is the easiest leaderboard to get on, because it's just like baseball. In baseball, teams can literally buy their way into the championship through player acquisition, through talent acquisition. The leads leaderboard, all you got to do is pony up enough money to buy a big enough campaign to generate enough leads, and boom, you're there. That's exactly what I did. I literally bought my way onto the leaderboard, and now here I am leveraging that result to the hilt, and I've positioned myself as the leader, and like you said, I have persevered. That's another thing too. So many that you even mentioned it. So many people give up right before their success comes to their horizon, and when you have a greater vision big enough, then nothing's going to stop you. That's why my friend Paul Gardner started calling me the Juggernaut, because nothing stops me. I don't let anything get in my way. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "All I see is the objective. The obstacle must give way." And that is exactly what I see. I see nothing but the end result.
Wonderful, man. Absolutely, man. And we definitely have seen that, and we're definitely inspired by that. Is there anything else that you would want to discuss with our viewership tonight? Letting them know, some of the things that you're doing, and what it takes to really move forward in a business like this, because we got a lot of new people that are watching tonight, and they're like, well, that's great for Raymond, whatnot, and we want you to understand too, it's possible for you. It's really possible for you. So I guess share some, because we're coming about quarter to 10 right now. I'm pretty much tapped out for questions, but if you want to kind of share some perspective that's on your mind and on your heart, or maybe something technical, we can use the time that we have left to do that, and then we can kind of wrap up if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, Roger. My pleasure. So let's face it, belief is the greatest force in the universe, because without it, You don't, if you don't believe in yourself, then nothing will be possible for you. You have to first believe in yourself. You have to love yourself enough to believe in yourself. Your success is only limited by your imagination. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I believe that should be fought, that we lose as we grow up from childhood. We tend to not be as imaginative as we go through the working world. Now, this is not to say that there are not creative people out there that are adults. There are plenty of creative minds out there, but it's just a matter of, do you use that creativity for your own purposes, or do you use it to build someone else's vision? If you're using it to build somebody else's vision, then how much of it are you gaining from? I mean, are you gaining what you think is a secure paycheck each month, or each week, every 2 weeks, or weekly? Because let me tell you right now, there is security is an illusion. Everything as an entrepreneur or even as an employee begins with mindset. Everything in this life, everything in this world is a choice. We choose whether or not to get up in the morning. We choose whether or not to, how we feel. And how we feel has a direct relationship to our success, to our results. If I don't feel like getting up, if I want to sleep in, then of course I have that freedom to do that as an entrepreneur. But how is it? How much am I delaying the realization of my dreams by doing that? How driven are you? And that is something that I look at every single day. I look in the eyes of my little girl here, and see myself. And I look at what I'm doing. Am I forwarding my vision? Am I being an example? Am I providing the results in my business and in my life that will provide a solid foundation for them as they grow up? That's one thing that I think about every day.
That's awesome, man. And we commend you. We praise you. In terms of what you've been able to do, and there's no better feeling than doing it for somebody or a bigger vision. Outside of yourself, and to your family. Being that catalyst. We want to continue to praise all the progress that you've been making. Just not only health-wise, mentally, but also in your business, man. And we continue to support you, man. So, with that said, guys, you've heard tonight, how Raymond has been able to continue having success. And the thing is, success can be defined, big or small, depending upon how you see it. It's still a success, and we want you guys to understand that whatever successes that you have in business, even if you're outside of our community, we want you to understand that any success that you have is a direct result of your mindset and what you're thinking. But not only that, then it is a direct reflection on the action steps that you're taking as well. And I know my significant other, Amanda, and I, we've been blessed to also be on the leaderboard as well for member signups. So we're starting to see great things come out of our. Thank you, man. We're starting to see great things out of our community, man. And there's new people popping up all the time. And so for those maybe that haven't got a result, or haven't hit the leaderboard, or haven't made the money that they want to make yet. Here's the thing, you can decide, that now's your time, or you can decide to pack up things and move on. And the thing is, the latter result has a very painful effect, because you're always wondering what if. And I know with Raymond, that's not in his DNA, that's not his mojo. And you guys can see he's really truly been progressing tremendously. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for tonight, for joining us on Dream Team Domination, as we do this every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's my pleasure to host. It's my pleasure to host tonight. Obviously, it's late in the evening, so you guys can forgive me on that. It's my pleasure to host. I know, right? It's my pleasure to host tonight for Bruce Brian Felton. We are truly excited about where Dream Team Domination is going. It's a show that really, truly highlights the success stories of our members. And for those of you that are not part of our community as of now, you can click on that button to the right or wherever it is beside me and get started. Get started with our community. Start to take action, okay? If you're having trouble getting leads, get back with the person that got you to this line and say, look, I'm ready for change. I'm ready for a new perspective. And if that's you, we welcome you to the family, and we look forward to working with you. So with that said, guys, again, give you a virtual hand clap to Mr. Raymond Jornd tonight, and we look forward to seeing you on the next version of Dream Team Domination. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you guys on the beaches of the world. Take care.